Sorry about that, guys. I was muted. Alright. So, I'm just kind of starting with the base of the figure. I don't really know who I'm drawing yet. It will kind of come to me as I go. I think I might just start out with a boxer. Alright, yeah. Let's do bare knuckle boxing. Seems a little more. Very good. Should I? Let's go with the gloves. The gloves look good. This guy is going to be getting crap knocked out of him. But he's already kind of down, so. I've been looking at a lot of 90s comic book art lately, like Jim Lee and stuff, and that's kind of what's been making me do this more, barely, I would call it realistic, but a little bit more realistic style in terms of muscles and shapes, really. It's all about shapes. Yeah, I haven't posted on this channel in a long time. Mainly because it sort of got, like, shadow banned almost. I know some people just say that, and it's just that they're posting shitty content. Which I was posting shitty content. But I think it's also just, I posted so much different content that the algorithm didn't know what to do. So, I'll be doing this more often here. Hopefully. And if this is something that you want to see more of, consider subscribing to this channel. Yeah. Pretty quiet in chat, guys. Maybe let's chat a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. If you don't want to, you don't got it. You know what, though? I am, after I finish this pencil, I'm gonna add some music to this, because this is quiet. Yeah, okay. let's make this guy bald. Yeah, seems right. I've been sort of stuck creatively lately trying to figure out what I want to make next. Often I come up with an idea and then the next one comes after that, and I don't do the previous one. So it's a lot of like really trying to pick the idea that I want to do most, and often that just sort of leads to me not finishing previous ideas. But that's okay. It's kind of part of it sometimes. The big idea that I've had lately, aside from trying this live streaming thing, which is kind of weird, it was never something that I wanted to do until recently, but that's why you gotta try stuff. The big idea is like a catalog for comic book art and art in general, whatever that may be. So I just gonna kind of like make stuff for a while, and then eventually it will all go into this catalog that I'll hopefully be able to print out and also make digitally so you guys can read it. That will have like photography in it, comic books, different stories, like just all the stuff that I can make, so that I don't get like exhausted only making one thing. Or at least that's kind of like the idea. But like I was saying earlier, I make that idea and then sometimes it takes a while for me to like get there, because I'm sort of always making other stuff. But that's also kind of what's great about the catalog, is it combines all those things together. Yeah. I might try and live stream again. It's an interesting idea of like interacting with other people, especially like sometimes it's just like hard to get out and go hang out with people for a lot of reasons, but that's kind of what's interesting about live streaming, is a way to connect with people even if you're not in person. Alright. Let's see. I guess we'll add a crowd. Alright, guys. Drawing a crowd can always be kind of boring because it's like a lot. I have found that it's easier if you sort of add lines that maybe don't make sense, but it shows that there's still like depth and motion sort of in the image. So like this section right here, there's not like as many people as this one on the left, or might be right for you guys. But it's still very much like, it's just, it still looks like a crowd a little bit, and it will look much more like a crowd once penciling and once the penciling's done and ink starts to go in. Okay, let's add some banners. Okay. Hang on, guys, I'm gonna put on some music now. Alright, guys, here's some music. Sorry if it skips. It's an older CD, so. Also, sorry if it's not the best music. That's what I just had on hand. I feel like this is looking good. Ready to ink. I've been using microns lately. Let me see. Micron 8, 10, and the 12. If I can find it. 12. And then Posca pen, always awesome. And these Permapaque markers, double-sided, sorry. They're great because they're like very, even the bullet tip is very thick. I have worked for a while this summer with a G pen and various spoon nibs and nibs. This one is a Hunt. I don't know what this is actually. It's a very interesting one. Problem that I get with G pens is once you get like past the beginner level, it's kind of hard to to like get the lines to look messy on purpose. That's what I like. Chainsaw Man and One Piece does a really good job of that, where the lines like are intentionally messy, and I love that. Super hard though, actually. Like it's pretty tricky to get there, which makes sense. Tatsuya Fujimoto and Oda are crazy. Also, creating contrast between like darks and lights is very hard when you like do a scribbly style, I guess is the best way to put it. They do a really good job at that. Yeah. In terms of comic books that I'm like reading right now, I've almost finished Naruto, and I'm reading Invincible. Basically right after Conquest. Sorry, just not trying to spoil. Well, probably by now you've seen it if you know what I'm talking about. Which is crazy. Like it ramps up quite a bit after. And yeah, Naruto, always good. I just love the story. It's a very addicting story. So you want to just keep going. Oh, sorry guys. That looks good. I've sort of been not making comics lately. I did sort of recently make a series called Bucket Boy. Haven't posted it yet on Global Comics. Cardboard Blacksmith on there. Go check that out. Got stories on there. But I just sort of been making stuff because I've been stuck. It's been getting better. I've been figuring out some more stuff to do. But yeah. I kind of might start making stuff more like how Marvel sort of works, in the way that there's like lots of artists making stories all at the same time and they don't always connect. But as one person that can be harder. But that's what I'm going to kind of go for right now, because trying to make a singular story sometimes gets tiring for me. Because it's like you gotta keep making the same person over and over again, and you don't get a lot of variation. That's like my one thing with making manga. Like I try not to make manga because the idea is it's a singular story, which is like part of why it's so amazing. But at the same time, it's like sometimes as the artist, I just want to make more that isn't the same character going through the same thing over and over and over again. That's why like spin-off stories and stories that are not necessarily even connected any way are so awesome. And why the show What If is so great, because it can connect those stories, but it doesn't have to, they don't have to be connected from the get-go. Sorry, that was a rant. Yeah, there it goes. There it skips. Oh, forgot to mention Sharpie pen, Sharpie ballpoint pen. It's amazing. It's so thin, but it's got so much energy to it. It's great. It's great for giving variation and stuff that like this, where it's like a lot of the same thickness. This gives a great variation. And it's super dark. Like some ballpoint pens, even though if they're like a black ballpoint pen, have like a slight shade of blue in them. And these just don't. This is just straight black. Also doesn't smell like a Sharpie, which is always great. And why pocket pens are awesome. I'm thinking, I've been trying to make some long form content. I'm done with shorts. Those things are like, as somebody who doesn't watch them because I feel like they're horrible for you. Like, I don't feel like I should make them either. That just seems wrong in a way. So I'm gonna be making long form videos. I just don't really know what of yet. Like, definitely related to art in some way, whether that be art or filmmaking or like art like this or filmmaking. So that will be on this channel for sure. I haven't posted on here for a while. But that's I think I'm gonna start doing it. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it is a pain and tiring, but if that's the case, I'll probably just take a break. But no, it's fun, and I'm gonna try and do that. If you guys have any questions about like tips for drawing, I might not be the best person to ask, but certainly can answer your questions. And who knows, maybe later I'll do like a, not so much tutorial, because I don't think you can really, I think you can teach art. I don't think you can teach a style, like, but questions, there are questions that can be answered and I can help. And if I can't, I can definitely point you in the right direction if someone can help with the question. Alright, I'm gonna add some, I just realized this looked kind of stale, like not enough motion, so I'm gonna add some lines. I haven't watched it in a little while. I watched it sometime in the spring, but Ippa Omakura Uchi was so good. Like I don't know what it was about it that made it so good actually, but it was really good. And my only critique of it was it did get repetitive after like the first season of win fight, go to the next fight, lose fight, go to the next fight, win fight. But it was still really good and much better than the stuff that I'm getting ads for now on webtoons of like fighting stuff. Like it's all the same on webtoons. It's just a bummer. Yeah. That's his mouth guard. And then launch out his mouth. And here we go. Let me know, guys, what, like, who are your, if you had to go, like, by artist, not necessarily the story, just art, who would be your top three, your big three, in manga art in particular? Any art is cool, too. For me, it would probably be Hatsuki Fujimoto, Chainsaw Man, just because the grittiness of it is so good. One Punch Man, the webcomic, like Mob Psycho art type stuff, really good. One Piece, obviously, really good. And probably Dragon Ball Z. The Cell fight, like, that was peak, bro. That was so good. The art, everything about that was so good. Let's see. So we're kind of almost done with the inking of the arena. We got to do the background now, which always takes time, just to speed up the process on this background. I'm gonna use a fatter marker so that it will be a little quicker. I'm just gonna kind of draw for a minute, and I'll come back to the chat if you guys got anything to say. Currently streaming 1 viewers, which figures. Haven't posted on this channel in a while. Almost a year and a half now. First thing I post, live stream. Probably not the smartest idea, but hey, who cares? I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't know if any of you guys are Kelly Acosta fans, but his traveling around the world with no money, the most recent clip of it, like him finally getting home, was so good, and his stuff is so good. He he actually started live streaming recently too after not doing it for a while, which is part of what inspired me to try it out. It's not something I would usually do, but it's actually a lot of fun. Also, of course, I've been watching Jack Manifold, Avertary, those guys. Their stuff is amazing, bro. It's so funny. And the Shut Up I'm Talking podcast, so good. I listen to that a lot. It's hilarious. Sure, they don't need the shout out though. They're doing good. So up here, foreground, I'm gonna make the lines with this big chunk as right here, this chunk from pig, because it will give me the like depth that I'm looking for. Then I'll probably go drop it down to a 12, and then way back here I'll do an 8. That way it really creates an illusion of depth. Yeah. These microns are amazing. Like, they're so dark, and sometimes it's just fun to have like the singular line weight, you know, because it really it pushes you to think about it differently. But these ones run out of ink so fast, sometimes. Especially if I use them a lot, like a few times in a day over the course of like 2 or 3 weeks, it's gone. But if you buy them in a pack, they're pretty cheap, which is nice and makes it worth it. Let's see. Okay. The arena's looking kind of bland, which will be fixed once we add color. But I'm gonna go in with more of this. And let's see, the light's coming in from here and here, so they'll be illuminated pretty well. We could do some dark coming in from the edges. And then to make sure that looks flat and not like it's coming up, we'll do a little cross-hatching. Sometimes cross-hatching looks a little goofy. And then we'll go in with this food pen. So good. Sometimes it's a little hard to get started, but it's really good. I do wish sometimes that the ink was a little blacker, but it's pretty good. Yeah. It's looking good. We can add, before we move on to the background, we can add a little bit of spit, kind of, or just like sweat even. And then right here on his muscles, like, we add a little bit of glow, because they are under that light. go. This is looking good. Alright, now the less fun part, the background. First I'll go in with this perma-pig and sort of thicken up these lines, make them really clear, just so that you can really see like the difference between stands and fans. They are. So I'm going to start thick here and go thin so that you can kind of see as it gets closer to the crowd. As I get closer to the stadium? What do you call this? The ring. Sorry. Get it that it gets like smaller and thinner, showing that it gets closer. Starting from thick to thin is also actually pretty good. And we'll bring this line in. There we go. We can make the lights first. People in the stands is probably the most time-consuming part, unless you kind of fudge it, which is probably what I'll do here, just sake of time. You can make these lights pretty dark because they're like one of the only spots that isn't getting much light. But make sure right here you kind of keep this lightness to show that the lights, because it will reflect and it will bounce back up. So, yeah. Then we'll do this one. I see a lot of videos of artists, and when they draw, they have their table at an angle, which is what I usually do, just because it's, oh, forgot it there, I'm going with white out. Actually, will I be able to go with white out with this one? Oh, I might have to use the Posca pen. Okay. It's all out, so we'll just leave it, it's fine. Mistakes always happen. What was it saying? Oh, just that artists usually put their table at an angle, which is really good for your body. Like, it keeps you from being really hunched over, or sometimes it's called shrimping. But when I have my table up at an angle, sorry again guys, I'll get a better setup next time that is precariously balanced. But when I usually have it set up, it's at an angle. I have to like hold the paper with one hand, which I kind of already do, or tape it down. But taping down the paper always kind of, I feel, ruins the art, because you don't, like, if you want to get movement going, I have to move the paper. Like, I mean, you can get movement other ways, but that's my favorite way to get movement, is by moving the paper to sort of follow that, but also just get at many angles. Yeah, so thanks, Phantom Bite. Yeah. This is a good drawing, actually. I'm surprised. Sometimes it just doesn't work out, but this is looking good. On to the part that's quite a pain, but it's not too bad. Here we go. Alright, so to create a lot of people, I'm just going to sort of make like neck and shoulders, otherwise I'm just going to be here forever. And then you just kind of gotta layer them. Make sure that once you get, the closer you get to the stands, the bigger they get. Not too big though, because you don't want them to be a distraction. But yeah. And you can kind of get goofy with it too. You can kind of make him look a little silly. Like this guy's got a giant hat on, so we'll. And then, if you get sick of the shoulders, you don't even have to draw the shoulders. Sometimes you can just sort of, just make sure you have a lot of variation, even in just simple stuff like the shapes. Like if I'm not going to even bother drawing their faces, to give variation between them, giving them like things that make them stand out, it's helpful. But you don't have to do it too much because it can get, I understand that it can get tiring. Then I'm gonna show a few here. Here we go. And then for this spot here, I'm gonna sort of shade it up so that I don't have to do a bunch of filling in. And then I'll add slight hints of people underneath that. Then you've got people still in there, but they're not. You don't gotta draw them all, you know? And some of these people we can shade them darker so that they're so that they kind of blend in and create more shadows. Alright. Then here I'll try something a little bit different. See these lines, like these will be like this, just to show like a bunch of people, and then right under it you gotta make sure to draw like people. That's way too big. Okay, there. Here we go. It can take time and it's time consuming, but it makes it all the better because it really fills the space and just creates more energy. You want to make sure to leave a little bit of space in between the ring, in this scenario, the ring, and the person of focus right here is these two guys, in particular him. So if you leave a little bit of white around him, you'll be able to see him better, especially in like a dense area like this where there's a crowd. Also, what's great about working in these markers and not like ink is when I go to color it, the coloring gets mixed in with the ink because it's alcohol markers, and so it smudges. But with these permapaque and microns and Sharpie pens and anything I've used so far, they don't mix, which is great. The only thing that it might mix on is these blacks here, which are ink, like thick ink, but I have done it before and they haven't, so we'll see. And right here, we'll sort of, in between these, we'll just sort of show that it's, there we go. Okay, that looks good. I'll erase now, and then I will add color. I just realized that I have these random pieces of metal in here. They went to my desk, so they're not important though. So, if anyone's wondering. So, my trick to erase and not rip paper is just go in sections. I also have this huge eraser, like giant, which is helpful. So, and then anywhere you know, like, avoid the last places you did because they will be the most likely to smudge. So I'll start where I started with him, and then I'll move around. It's really fine to go anywhere else, but hang on. I'm gonna grab a piece of tape so that you guys don't keep dropping. I bet that is really annoying. Let's see if we can do this without completely knocking you guys over again. Okay, and if I push that forward, that's good. Okay, then I'll just add one more piece of tape so you guys stick. If I do this again, which it sort of seems like I will, it's been a lot of fun so far. I'm gonna try and invest in better video angle. Like, this isn't horrible, but I would really like for you guys to be able to see the drawing in a similar way that I do. The only restriction is I'm trying not to show my face on here. I'm not too worried about it. It's just something I like to keep private. But if I can find a way to angle it so that you guys can see what I'm seeing, that would be awesome. And it'd be so much better for you guys because you could really see the process in a different, like, almost through the eyes of the artist. That's more, like, personal in terms of each person's creation, but I can do it so that you see it, you see what I'm seeing. Okay, now I'll do this top part. I don't have it with me right now, but what I would usually do now is take a lamp and sort of shine it over the whole thing because it will make the blacks really pop out, and then any pencil a little more visible. Like, I would put it right over the light and look. But that's not with me right now, so I won't bother. I'll just take a closer look. Last section. Okay. That looks pretty good. I think I can add color now. Yeah. So here's what I'll be using. I'll be using these Ohuhu markers. I actually have no idea if that's what they're called. That's just what I like to call them. Let's see. Classic colors would be like almost like maybe this for the pants, this sort of bluey gray, and then of course bright red for the opposing. And I think he's gonna be blue. I like the color blue, so why not have the winner being blue? If you want to get more color variation, you can use 2 colors, which I think, yeah, I'll do that here, just to show it. So I'll start with this dark blue and really layer it up in the spots where there's lots of lines, especially here in like the pants, in like the inside of the pants right here. And then here in this spot, I'll go in with like here we go, a light blue-gray that will really like create contrast. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then if you kind of layer it, it will blend better. Yeah, there we go. So there's his pants. Then we'll do the same thing with his gloves. Make some contrast between the two. So this will be super dark, dark, and then you can do a little dark here. And then in there, we'll go with the light blue again. Layer it. Same thing again right here, but because it's a space where I don't want the marker to bleed too much into the surrounding sections, I'll make sure to just do it with the thin side, because they've got a brush side and a thin side. Okay, this is looking really good. Okay. Oh, and his boots, can't forget those also. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't realize that my sketchbook was blocking part of the shot. Hang on, let me bring you guys closer. There. That's better, right? Yeah, okay. If you guys couldn't see that before, I'm so sorry. I don't know how long that's been going on. Hopefully not too long. I'm gonna do his shoes the same color as this thing, so he kind of just matches all around. And at least it's okay to keep it out a little bit, because you can always cover it back up. Okay, that's good. Alrighty. Then, like here in this back corner, I'm